Hello and welcome to How to Play Double Rainbow, a game for one player. This game comes to us from Solitaire by David Parlett. You're going to need 2 decks of cards, and as you're dealing 3 fans of 3 cards, you're going to be dealing about 20 of these fans. As you're dealing these fans, if you see a king or an ace, go ahead and throw it in the middle. If you've already thrown an ace or a king of that suit in the middle, go ahead and just keep it with the fan itself. We're going to be making about 20 fans of 3 cards each, and once we've had all 4 kings of each suit represented, we will stop putting kings in and we'll just keep making fans. Then we're going to count and make sure we have 20. If you do too many, just put those cards back in the deck and shuffle your deck. So I went ahead and counted. I had 21, so I went ahead and shuffled my deck back up, and now I am ready to go. So a quick explanation of everything and an adjustment of the camera. The exterior cards of the fans, the ones that are completely exposed, are available for play. They can either be packed on an ace or a king if they are the next card available for that build of that foundation. They can also be played on other exposed cards in suit, either up or down, and you can reverse direction. The major limitation of this game is that the ace and king do not wrap around each other. You can only place kings next to queens, and you can only place aces next to twos. That is the major contributing factor for this game's difficulty, is the ace and king not wrapping around. Otherwise, it'd be a very simple and very winnable game. Because of that, it is not often won. Now, if you ever do get stuck in play, you are allowed to go to each fan and take the back card out and put it up front. You're allowed to do this up to 3 times, so be very strategic about when you do that, because after the 3rd time you have to be able to play all the cards to the foundation and build them up from ace to king and king all the way down to ace. So be very careful, be very mindful about where you move cards. Now, you're able to move 1 card at a time, so entire stacks of cards will not be able to be moved as in other solitaires. This is a single card at a time game, and as long as there's 1 card in the fan, you are okay. Once you've emptied a fan out, you will deal a new fan from your draw pile. After the draw pile runs out, any vacancies where a fan is at cannot be refilled with another card. So you're only doing on suit, so you really have to plan out your moves. In fact, this is a game that, because it takes up so much space, I probably should have used miniature cards, but since I used full-sized poker-sized cards, I went ahead and actually got out of my seat and walked around as I was playing this, and I'd contemplate my next move, because you do have to consider the entire playing surface and each card that's available. Sometimes you might have a card of the next suit that becomes available, and you might want to play it right then and there. But the big thing with this game, as far as strategery, is that you need to be fully aware that some of your foundations are built upwards and some are built downwards. And so you might need to be able to stack a pile downwards as opposed to upwards. Now, being that it is in the rules that you are able to move and build upon the fans themselves, the exposed card, in increasing and decreasing order, and in basically reverse order. You can even reverse it. So let's say you have a 7 of spades. You can put a 6 of spades, and then another 7 of spades, and then an 8 of spades on top. So you can reverse the direction. That is a liberty you do have that does make this game solvable. But the key difference in a lot of solitaires as opposed to this one, you really have to think about playing both cards up or down. And I'm sure you could do the shape of your rainbow. It's supposed to be a rainbow shape, but of course, these cards are so large, my table is so small, I could not get the perfect rainbow and capture it in camera with the current setup that I have. So I just went ahead and just did a full circle. And if you've ever viewed a rainbow from an airplane, you know full well that they do typically get displayed as full circles from the sky, because there's no horizon to stop the lights refracting all the colors of the spectrum. That's basically all a rainbow is. So You see them from the sky as complete circles, so having a complete circle I don't think is too far away from the theme. And it's just a suggested shape anyways. You could actually do these fans in any way you want. You could even do the foundations in a perfectly horizontal line or a vertical line, a row or column, however you prefer it. You don't necessarily need to do the shape, but the shape is somewhat the theme, so I try to go with what the picture that Mr. Parlett had in his book, just for historical accuracy and to try to get a good sense what the designer of this game might have wanted it to be played as. So I've got some options, and I'm really considering everything as I'm circling the table, and I'm walking around this table multiple times as I'm playing this. I'm keeping my thoughts in my head, 3 moves in advance. What do I want to do? If I move this card, would that jeopardize this other card? And so the key thing to think about, and the mistake I made, is you have to remember that you do get 3 movements of the back card to the front. Now, each time you do that, you have to go to each fan that's available, because some are going to go extinct as the game goes on, and they are not refilled. You're going to have to think what cards are going to become available. And there's a couple of packs that I made so far in this game that really hurt my chances of winning, because there are more than 3 cards of that fan. And it's basically made it to where it's going to be impossible for me to win this. But I am not going to notice them in time, because this is my second time playing this solitaire. And these games, usually you can figure out a decent strategy, and this one I just didn't. So I went ahead and did the first flip, and now it looks like I'm making a lot of progress. But the devil, of course, is always in the details. And what I don't realize is that I have a pile that's going to laugh at my face. This next move, when I've run out of moves, I'm going to go ahead and put the cards on top. And now I have only one more chance. I've got 7 out of 8 fans finished, but of course I leave a king over the queen on that last fan. That means I've lost. So like always, if you actually want to play something besides solitaire, come to our subreddit card game meetups. Don't be afraid to post a city, post a public place you'd like to meet up at, and don't be afraid if you don't know that many card games or you're not sure how many you'd be able to learn. Go ahead and post there. Do check out the links in the description, as well as a link to a Discord channel where we talk about card games all day, every day. It's a fun place. Do call up your friends and ask them if they'd like to play some cards. You never know. They might say yes. They might be so willing to see you that they might actually learn Gin Rummy. Who knows? Do like, subscribe, and share these videos with your friends so that they may learn card games, and do vote for August game of the month. And I will see everybody next video.